All right, all right, all right. Let's go, people. We want to get this party started. Welcome to Coach Powell Training Development. Welcome to Coffee Security. Welcome to a fun time. Welcome to an entertaining time and a learning time for all of your small businesses. We're going to take it there today. We're going to go there today because we are ending an amazing series. In fact, the series we're ending today is our series all about committing to the notion of collaboration. I know a lot of you out there have been talking about it, been thinking about it, been working over the last few weeks, have been talking about collaboration, everything you need to become a better collaborator, everything you want to think about to work well with others. Now, over the last few weeks, if you haven't gotten it and haven't understood it, I believe totally, and I'm convinced, based on all the research I've been able to put together for you and everybody else, that the key to winning bigger than you can ever win by yourself has been, is, and always will be learning how to maximize your collaborative efforts. Learning how to work well with others, learning how to get along with others, learning how to help others grow, help others see the best in themselves, and help challenge each other to maximize your opportunities. This is what it is all about. Now, for those of you who know me, you know, my name is Coach Powell. I belong to Coffee Tea, You and Me. I belong to the Round Table. I've created multiple organizations, and all the things I've been able to do has all been based on the strength of collaboration. If you want to read some of the things we put together special document, special training profile. You can get to it in some of the links that are right here in the chat. So go through the chat comments. If you're looking at us on Facebook, on YouTube, you can find the chat. I'm going to keep the chat open and keep the chat available because you can download all the free training materials that I have for you. And this is 44 pages of the most powerful information that I think I've ever seen or anyone has ever put together on learning and developing your collaborative space. So now, why is this important? There are several quotes from several different organizations, several different documents, several different facts, several different industry leaders have all shared their notions and thoughts about collaborations. And I put most of that information that I could dig up and put together in that document for you. So make sure you download it to your own hard drive. You're able to use it, do whatever you want to do with it. It's all free, doesn't cost you anything. And I'm glad to be able to do this because I care about small businesses. I care about how small women-owned, minority-owned businesses find their way through the labyrinth of opportunities and the labyrinth of myths and the labyrinth of ideas that are out there that they could use to benefit them and their communities. Because I know that there isn't a small business anywhere in the world that isn't somehow attached to a family, isn't somehow attached to a community, isn't somehow attached to a nation, a tribe, an organization. And it's very, very important that you don't just survive. It's important that you thrive because your example is what freedom in its totality is all about. It's all about the ability to express oneself. It's all about the ability to share what one knows and to do it in a way that's rewarding, meaningful, significant, relevant in every space where you are. So if you're out there today, if you're joining us into this talk today, I want you to log on. I want you to share your information. I want you to take anything you've got that you want to put out there. If you want to tell us where you came from, how you met us, where you know us from, put that information in the chat because I want you to play along with us. I want you to engage with us as much as possible. So I'm going to ask you some powerful questions, and whether you are engaged with us online right now live or you watching this program later on amongst the millions of followers that we've had and we've accumulated over time, you're going to be blessed with amazing opportunities to share who you are, what you're all about, because I want that. If you can't share who you are and what you're all about, how can you collaborate? If you can't tell people what you need and why you need what you need, and then what you're going to do or what you're going to become as a result of fulfilling the needs that you have, you make it more difficult for people to want to reach into their toolkit, reach into their resources, reach into their talent, their time, or their treasure to be a support network for you. And so you want that. You want that support network. If you don't know how to collaborate and you're trying to put together a network, it's going to be really, really tough. It's going to be really, really difficult. I want to talk to you today all about collaboration. But more importantly, I'm going to share with you the story of the roundtable and why the roundtable exists and how we use collaboration in our organization. And I think that you'll understand why this is such a big topic and why the next few topics are also going to be key topics that we're going to be talking about over the next few weeks. And then we're going to round out the rest of the year in terms of how we finish out our calendar of events and talks and so on and so forth. There's a couple of events I want you to make aware of before I go to the first break here. And that is first event I want you to be aware of is this one. This is a great opportunity for everybody, guys. I've got a small business program set up and a virtual conference set up that's coming up on October 1st. It is going to be amazing. Now, for those of you who know me, again, I do one of these every quarter. And I've been taking a break, for the last year because I just haven't been able to put it all together the way I'd like to. COVID-19 and different things going on in business, in the world, and the universe, and all that kind of stuff. I know there's a whole bunch of stuff going on out there. And it's been difficult, but I'm able to now secure some great speakers, and I'm able to now put together just a wonderful virtual conference. And everything is on the table. So a lot of you all know that watch the show or participate can't necessarily pay the ticket cost to go to these expensive conferences and in these big cities and all that kind of stuff to get the same information that you're going to get in this virtual conference that is inexpensive and accessible to you. And so there's no reason for you not to log on and get the cheapest tickets you possibly can right now. I think it's only $49 right now. And if you get on today and purchase your ticket, today is, what's today's date? Let me see if I can't tell you. Today's the 19th, right? I'm going to give you the weekend. If you get on today or over the next few days and purchase your ticket at a deep discount, you're going to get a VIP ticket. Let me tell you what you're going to get with this VIP ticket. Number one, you're going to get access to the conference. It's a full day conference, and all the description is right there in the link. But you're also going to get full access pass to the VIP conference that happens the night before, which means you get to meet all the speakers virtually online the evening before the conference. So the conference, you're not going to have as much time to interact. You're not going to have as much time to introduce yourself. You're not going to have much time to do things. But if you get your ticket right now, it's going to get you VIP access to the evening before, the Friday night before the Saturday conference, VIP lounge kind of thing. You're going to be sitting back and kicking it with all of the VIP speakers that will be coming up, and we're just going to be having just a sort of a networking party. It's going to be like an online chat where we're going to have, everybody have their own cocktails and whatever else, dessert, whatever else you want to bring to the party. But, it's going to be something that we'll be able to sit, kick back, relax, and enjoy, get to know each other a little bit better. And then we'll be ready Saturday morning, bright and early, to begin the conference, and we'll have all day. We're going to have experts from every area that you can think of that's relevant today. We're going to have experts from alternative finance. We're going to have experts from the biotech community. We're going to have experts from Silicon Valley and talking about not just silicon, we're talking about semiconductors. We're going to have experts from the construction industry talking about alternative construction opportunities that are going on that are more than just the bridges and roads and so on and so forth, but infrastructure that has to do with our energy crisis and all those kinds of things. Small business opportunities in all those spaces. We're going to be talking about it, all of it, right here at the Leverage Up Conference on October 1st. I need you to hear it. I need you to see it. I need you to participate in it. I need you to grow from it. And I need you to really put some effort and energy into this. I'm getting some of the best speakers from all over the planet to talk about these issues. So let's get on board. Let's support this conference. And a lot of the proceeds are going to be going to nonprofit organizations that we're going to be picking up and choosing along the way. So don't feel like, you're lying in my pockets, because it's not happening. That's going to be an opportunity for all the small businesses and nonprofits that support small businesses That's where the lion's share of the resources and whatever proceeds we get from everything we're going to do related to the conference is going to be going towards. And so I'm really thankful for those of you all who jump on board, who give us your time, give us your energy. And I'm doing some lucrative things for all of our panelists. So if you know some people who should be a panelist in one of the key areas, definitely reach out, give me a call. My information I'm going to be putting in a banner in just a second, so you'll be able to see it coming through. That's how you reach me. That's everything you want to know about the coach and all that kind of stuff. And we're going to go to a quick little commercial break, and we're going to come back and we're going to start the show. All right. We are about 15 minutes, close to 15 minutes in the show. That's usually when we have the countdown and we get this party started. So check this out. We'll be back after these messages. Okay, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to Coffee, Tea, You and Me. This is our every Friday program that we do for entrepreneurs, business leaders, anybody who's in sales, anybody who's trying to grow, anybody who's trying to get a leg up and understand what they need to do to make things happen. If you are in business, you need to understand how to collaborate. You need to understand how to work with the people that you need to work with to grow. And you need to work with this in not just the areas of customer service. I know everybody thinks customer service is the magical elixir for everything, and it is vitally important. But you have various different types of customers, no matter what your business is, right? You have stakeholders. They're a type of customer because they have, they get to benefit from whatever it is that you're doing somehow, some way. And that might be a financial benefit. It might be an emotional benefit. It might be a social benefit. But there are stakeholders who have a vested interest in your success. In a way, you also serve them. You also serve referral sources. These are people who will give their promotion opportunities to you so that you can benefit from people that they already know and people that will reach out for other people for you and help you develop your business and help you grow. These are referral sources. They're critically important. Then there's your 5 helpers, right? There's your 5 helping resources. I always talk to people about the 5 helping resources because I think it's very, very important for them to keep in mind that people don't have to help you. But if they do help you, they're probably coming out of one or all 5 of the following boxes that I'm going to share with you. They may be your mentor. They may be an advisor. They may be a consultant. They may be a coach, or they may be a therapist. You know, somebody in some role, some way, shape, or form are performing all 5 of these very different and distinct roles to help you grow. They're not going to do that if you treat them all the same. All these different areas and all these different people, they need to be treated differently. And you need to have a plan for how you're going to identify who they are, what they do for you, and how you're going to treat them differently and appropriate to who they are to you. Because if you try to do something that everybody makes the mistake of doing, especially when it comes to collaborating, they say things like, I treat everybody the same with the same amount of respect. Guess what? That's not going to work in the collaborative environment. In the collaborative environment, we find that there's 2 things that are key. And then I'm going to move on to how we do things at the round table. The 2 things that are key when you talk about creating a collaborative team or collaborative environment, collaborative relationships with other people, thing number 1 is you have to listen to the people that you're going to collaborate with so that you know exactly what turns them on, what floats their boat, what gets them going, what gets them motivated to go the extra mile. You have to know what those things are, or you're not going to be able to position yourself and your organization to offer that to them. So your employees, your stakeholders, your referral sources, all the 5 helping units, everybody who can give anything or support you in any way, shape, or form, you need to be dialed into them so well that you understand where they're coming from, what their gifts are, what their talents are, what they can bring to the table for you, and what they're willing, not just can, but willing to do if the right circumstances are in place. And you need to know what those right circumstances are. You need to know how to win their hearts. You need to know how to win their trust. So that's thing 1. You have to win the trust of everybody that you want to collaborate with. Second, and this is the most important thing, When the people that you have won their trust and they like you, but now you have an individual relationship, the way you create a super powerful team is you introduce these people to each other and you help them find the commonality and find the relationship between each other. That's then going to turn into magic. Okay, so let me explain to you how this works. If you want to create an advisory council for your business, and I suggest you create everybody. I don't care, even if you got a part-time business, a gig business, or whatever it is that you're doing that's going to help you get outside the box to the traditional, I'm a slave, I work for someone else, right? It doesn't help you do that. I'm going to suggest that you develop an advisory council first. Now, of course, when you escalate into a full-blown board of directors, if you ever do, and you don't have to, right? But if you ever escalate into a full-blown board of directors, then your advisory council members are probably going to get first dips at that opportunity, right? Because they're gonna have already been there supporting you. They already know you. They already understand you, and they already understand what your needs are. Of course, they're going to get first options to be a part of your financing team or a part of what the future growth of your organization may look like, maybe as an employee themselves or as one of your directors or as just an investor. Who knows, how that's going to go. But you'll know based on your relationship with them what is relevant that they can bring to the table that you can ask them to bring to the table. But if you don't have a pre-existing relationship, then your relationship is transactional. That means it's going to be very difficult for you to get the team together. It's going to be very difficult for you to inspire them to move in the right direction. So thing one, develop the trust with the individuals. Thing two, introduce the individuals to each other and start that process of the mutual trust building. If you don't get that done, you're not going to develop a collaborative team. You're not going to have a team that enjoys working together. You're going to be having sort of onesie twosies, everybody's over, and you're going to have to manage. The bigger your group gets and the bigger your ideas get, you're going to have to try to manage all of that alone. And as a leader, that's a horrible place to be. You want enough people around you to help support you in the areas where you're weak. You want people around you to help you thrive. Because again, it's not good enough to survive. You have to thrive. And the only way to thrive is to collaborate. You can't do it all by yourself. You're going to hear a lot from me about that kind of stuff, but I want you to know that, I've already done the research, already done the homework on this. And if you sit around and try to collaborate for yourself, by yourself, all the time, you're going to end up feeling lonely, being isolated, and there's only a couple ways that thing can go. All right. The stress of it all is going to be overwhelming. And we're not built, human beings. And I don't mean any type of ethnic group or anything. There's nobody that's more built to do this because we're all human beings. Human beings are never built to be alone. We're never built to be thinking for ourselves, working by ourselves, doing everything by ourselves and with ourselves. These things are anti-human. And they're going to work against you emotionally, and they're going to work against you mentally, and they're going to work against you financially, and they're going to work against you spiritually. It's going to work against you everywhere. We're built to be social. We are social animals. Now, I know a lot of you are going to say, okay, Marvin, we know you're an economics and you're a sociology major and you know these things. And that's all true. And I do come from that bag and that bias. But that bias of understanding how the need that people have for one another is actually factually pointed out in so many different researches. And if anybody has any challenges to that, I could give you cite and verse, in terms of what resources that support these ideas and concepts that I come up with, because I'm an introvert and I geek out on that kind of stuff. So I know exactly where I'm getting almost every piece of information that I share with you. So don't feel shy. If you want to know something on how you came up with that idea, ask me. I'll tell you. It's not even a problem. But here it is. When it comes to collaboration, especially in my organization called the Roundtable, and I highly suggest that you guys look at the Roundtable, check it out. Hashtag Roundtable. That's all you need to do. Hashtag Roundtable in YouTube, on LinkedIn, or wherever that is, and you will find that we have a lot that we're bringing to the table for entrepreneurs and for business leaders all over the place. It's a key idea and a key concept that we work on. And in the Roundtable, we have 3 key ideas that we're constantly sharing with our members and using as a tool. These principles that we value our organization on are three principles, right? First principle is collaboration, right? Second principle is encouragement. And for the next few weeks after today, we're going to talk about encouragement. And then we get into communication. That's the third principle. Now, these principles are not in order because you need them all collectively to work the way we want to work in a networking organization like ours. Now, when I say networking organization, the Roundtable is not your traditional networking organization. Our organization is focused on developing, teaching, learning, and training each and every one of our members to become masterful at putting together, creating, and leveraging their own networks. That's what we do well. That's what we're responsible for, and that's what we want to continue to do. And so, if until you've been to one of our meetings, until you've really understood what we're all about, you don't get it. If you think it's a traditional networking organization, you just don't get it. You don't get it, whatever it is, because we're not about going and showing up and throwing up. We're not about helping you develop an elevator pitch, and so that you can just pitch all over everybody and mess it up and make yourself look bad. No, we're not trying to do that. We're trying to develop a supportive environment for entrepreneurs and business leaders to get together on a regular, consistent basis, where they will share their resources and their ideas and their concepts that help each other build collaborative teams. So now, here it is: collaboration, encouragement, and communication. So how do we do collaboration at the Roundtable? At the Roundtable, we set up meaningful opportunities for our members to find ways to work together in times and where they might not have naturally normally thought about it. First of all, when you do a personal presentation, not an elevator speech, but a personal presentation at the Roundtable, we're going to ask you to share a need. And only we're going to ask you to share what your needs are, your desires are, but we're going to ask you to share why you need them. Basically, what is it you need, and what are you going to do when you receive it? Like I just shared with you guys, I am developing a state-of-the-art virtual business conference. I need talent. I need speakers. I need people to come through, not speakers per se, panelists, because I don't want any boring speeches and workshops and blah, 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 blah. I just want to have meaningful discussions and Q&A development stuff that people are going to really actively get some information from that they want before they leave this conference. I want something to be really, really slick, really meaningful, and attention driving. So I need people who have ideas about their industries to participate. If I get the right people in place to talk about all the issues that are on the slate to talk about, think about how powerful that's going to be of an information gathering for people and a knowledge disbursement for people. How incredibly powerful that could be for people who specifically don't always get the chance to sit down next to these corporate leaders and these association leaders and these industry experts. They don't get the chance to ask them questions. They don't get the chance to talk about what's going on all these new initiatives that are coming out of the White House and the state and local legislatures. They don't have a chance. So they don't get that money. They don't get that they don't get that intelligence. They don't get that information. And it's going to be jam-packed full day. Now, I need your help to help me identify some of the industry experts. That's why I need you to check that link. Even if you decide you don't want to come to the conference, check the link and make a decision of how you can bring something to the table. Purchase a ticket, yes, if you want to come, of course, purchase a ticket. But more importantly, help us build something that is so incredibly powerful and so incredibly strong that no one can ever put something else up against it and go, okay, we did this because it was sponsored by, the Mellon Foundation or Coca-Cola or some of the major large organizations. Help me prove that there's power in small, and there's power in small businesses, and we can do it if we leverage each other's time, if we leverage each other's talent, if we work together and collaborate, we're going to create something amazing. That's my need, right? That's why if I do this well, if you and I do this well, think of how powerful a moment we could execute and create. It could be better than anything that's ever been done before. And that's what I want to do. And that's what I want you to help me do. If you help me do this, how do you think I'm going to feel about you? going to feel like you're a rock star. I'm going to feel like you're a genius. And I'm going to bring everything I can to the table to help you back. Because that's how it works. The law of reciprocity. Give, receive. Give, receive. Now, if you're like me, you only think about contribution. That's all I think about. I always think about what I can contribute. And I want to tell you, as a collaborator, it's very difficult when you are, I know a lot of you are like that. A lot of you think like that. You're always thinking about what can you bring to the table? What can you do? What can you give? What can you share? Guess what? At some point, you need to reasonably expect a return on the gifts that you're willing to share with other people. And I don't mean it's all about you getting paid all the time, but it's got to be something that helps you continue to be motivated to keep going, to become more resilient, to build more. And when you develop a collaborative team with you, if you develop a collaborative organization with you, or just a group of friends who want to help you and do whatever you need to do, guess what happens? Everybody starts to love it. Everybody starts to love playing together, being together, working on things, and you bounce ideas off of one another, and things become magical. So again, back to the round table. How do we do this at the round table? First initiative we give you is we give you a chance to introduce not just yourself, but your needs and what you're going to do with whatever fulfillment comes from those needs. So that means you got to be vulnerable, right? You got to be willing to say, this is what I need, and this is why I need it. It's real simple. This is what I need help with. This is why I need it. This is what I'm going to do with it. And this is what I'm going to be able to be, do, and have as a result of achieving it. You have to have that dialogue with yourself, and you have to be willing to share that with everybody else, because people need to know what you're up to. Full transparency. What are you up to? Where are you going? Why are you going? You got to be able to do that, or you're not going to be able to collaborate well. So that's thing one. Thing two, we do and encourage our members to do exceptionally well is to make sure that they're engaging with each other in a very special way. What we have, instead of one-on-ones or one-to-ones, we have strategy sessions where we encourage each other to go through the True Voice profile. Now, the True Voice profile is really a way for us to discover each other's voices, a way for us to discover what each other brings to the table, what are our biggest desires and hopes and dreams and wishes for our lives and for our businesses. And we share that information with each other back and forth. And then we find ways that we can either, through our own efforts or the efforts of somebody else, figure out ways that we can help move the needle for each other faster. I can't think of anything better to talk to somebody about than their hopes and dreams. And we have a very systematic process that we use to help our members do exactly that. So think about it. If you're going to have a collaborative effort, then you need to have a strategy. You need to have a system under which the collaboration is going to work. You need to have an agreement. You need to have a way, a process. And I always, I share this with people because I love this song. There's an old song that I discovered. I think I was watching Mrs. Maisel or something like that on a show, and it went like, it ain't what you do, it's the way that you do it. Very important, because it's when you collaborate with someone, it's not that you collaborate, it's the way you collaborate that matters. So if you have a system and a process and a plan that works, go for it with reckless abandon and don't give up on it, because at the end of that system is all the benefits that come from a strong collaborative effort of building a great team. And that team, by the way, doesn't have to be the traditional team in terms of, I've got the 5 leaders, and I got the marketing person, I got the human resources person, I got the chief operating officer, and I've got the chief diversity officer, and I've got the chief this and that blah 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 technology officer. You don't need to have all the big chiefs in play before you have even the departments and the strategies and the things all in place, because who are they leading? You end up paying for people who have to do the work. They're not, but they're expected to be leaders. They got the title, but they don't have any ability to actually lead anything, because guess what? There's not enough people. So think about it. Don't try to build something in hopes of one day I'm going to be able to actually make sense of it. make sense of it, and then you go out and you find the best chief marketing officer you can find, and the best chief operating officer you can find, and the best blah blah. Do that first, but you do that first with your collaborative team. You do that first with your advisors. You do that first with your friends and associates and your lead investors who might have some ideas about where you're going to get the skills and the talents and the abilities to move forward and where you need to move forward on. So strategy sessions help you figure that out with one another. It's the same thing. So if anybody wants a copy of the True Voice strategy system, let me know, and I'll make sure I get it to you. Put it in the chat, and I'll make sure I send it to you. I'll DM you. I'll DM it to you, whether it's on LinkedIn or Facebook or wherever else you're watching or participating in this program from. Because I don't believe in keeping stuff to myself. I don't create stuff just because I want to keep it to myself. I create it to share it. So that's the thing too. We get you an opportunity to give your personal development presentation in a way that's going to make sense. And number two, we give an opportunity to have strategy sessions with people who are going to be committed to helping you work together to do things, because small businesses are lonely, they're isolated, and they need more opportunities to get in front of people who are going to be of assistance, who want to assist each other. Here's another thing I want to put out in front of you. It's very, very important. If you do enough to help other people, it's sort of like the wisdom of the universe. And I talked about the law of reciprocity earlier. The universe delivers back at you in ways that you could never, ever imagine. In fact, this is how you get to live your dreams. I don't know how many of you all played Cash Flow. There's a game that was created by Robert Kiyosaki and Sharon. I think I can't remember Sharon's last name, but she's the lead accountant. She probably created the game more so than Robert Kiyosaki did, but we won't get into that discussion. But think about this. In a game called Cash Flow, much like Monopoly, you get chips, you get some money, you get an identification, or whether you're your plumber or whatever that is, and you get to play the game of life, so to speak. And in the first part of the game, you're all just grinding it out, right? You're all you got a job, you're working the job, you're doing what you need to do, buying benefits, doing that thing here and there, making sure that you're purchasing college for your kids, and you're doing all the things that we normally have to do in a typical job environment, right? But the whole goal is for you to get out of the rat race, which is the typical job situation, and out onto the fast track where you can live your dreams, right? And the fast track has all kinds of wonderful stuff on there, plane, jet setting, going around, having vacations, doing all kinds of fun stuff, contributing to society in a meaningful, positive way through nonprofit, philanthropic organizations. I mean, it's incredible. If you ever played the game, you'll understand what I'm saying. If you haven't played the game, somebody post a link to it in the chat for me. It's called Cash Flow. Cash Flow 101. There's two sections. There's Cash Flow 101. There's Cash Flow 201. So you might want to if you find the game and you could post it for me in the chat, that would be awesome. I really appreciate it, because I don't have time when I'm talking about it right now, but I don't have time to go research that and do it. I'm not going to take a break and do that. But that's an excellent game for you to talk about. But the importance of not just the game, but the concept behind the game is understanding you can't do any of these things by yourself. You have to create leverage. And the only way to create leverage is to work with other people. There's no other way to do it. Because left to your own devices, you can only do what you can do. That means you can only work with the tools that you have. But when you create leverage, you can work with the tools that other people have, and then other people. And the bigger your organization, or the bigger your reach, or your platform, or whatever it is you want to call it, that has people that are all collective and connected together, it can be amazing. But you got to be willing to do that relationship work. You got to be willing to get in that grind. So for thing one, let people know what you're doing and what you're all about. Thing two, have the strategy sessions that you begin to understand what they're all about and what they bring to the table, where they're going, and what their issues are. The last thing we do at the round table, and we do this better than anybody else, is to offer all of our members at every meeting, every opportunity we get together, to encourage one another. Specifically, and this is all about giving people their flowers while they live. If somebody's had a strategy session with you and you've developed a working relationship, or the beginnings of a working relationship, it's time to celebrate. It's time to find a way to come together with that person and share the brilliance of the moment that you've experienced together. And so talking about it publicly within the group helps everybody else go, oh my God, I hadn't thought that working with so-and-so would have gotten me these kinds of results. but it just happened for one of our other members. So maybe I should have a strategy session with that person as well. And maybe I should bring what I bring to the table, and maybe we could come together and do something magical as well. So every week, our members are giving each other what we call the RAP report, right? Which stands for respect, affection, and praise. It's a shout out pretty much about how wonderful another person is and what another person has done to create effort, energy, momentum, or enthusiasm or encouragement for each other. Just participating and listening to that moment, the RAP report moment at the roundtable, I promise you is magical. Every time I've done it, every time I've seen it for the last few years that we've been doing it, it's been amazing. I'm so thankful for my partner, Darren Marcourt, who is in business. We've put the roundtable together, and I think we're going to take this thing to the next level. So if you guys want to get involved and you want to be a part of it, let me know. Again, all my information is right across the stream, and I will make sure that I talk to you about it, I post about it, I answer any questions about it. Anybody who has any questions about anything related to collaborations or anything you want to share, put it in the chat. Don't be shy. Step right up. Don't just be a voyeur in this space. Put your information in the chat. Let us know who you are. Let us know where you're coming from, how you met us, where that's all going, and we will make sure that we help promote your brand, promote your energy, promote your efforts to the world, because that's what it's all about for us. So for those of you who have been watching and paying attention, do me a favor, hit the like button. Do me a favor, hit the buttons that let me know that this is something that you value and you want to see more and more of. Every once in a while I have a couple guest speakers that come on. I'm hoping to do the same thing for the next series we got coming up. We're going to be talking about over the next few weeks, we're going to be talking about encouragement, why encouragement works, what encouragement is all about, how do you do it at a high level so that you can get back from it what you should be getting back from it. Because if you're encouraging people who in the right way, and it's meaningful and it's authentic, and it's what's going to work. It's really going to do amazing things for yourself and your own personal development, and your own self-worth and your own self-value is going to grow precipitously. But it's also going to put more energy into the universe in ways that you could never think about before you learn how to do it exceptionally well. And we're going to teach that. We're probably about 3 or 4 weeks on encouragement, and then we'll do a couple weeks in communication, and then we're going to get right into at the end of the year, we're going to get right into the 9 steps to mastery, and then we'll close out with some strategic planning. But that's kind of how the next editorial, ideas of Coffee to You and Me are going to evolve. So anybody who like any of those topics, stay tuned. If you have some ideas that you want to share with people, let me know. Let's put it out there. Text me, put it in the chat. It's okay. And I'll take all the ideas because, again, I'm a collaborator, and I want to make sure that I give you a chance to shine. And so if you get out there and you want to do it, let's do it. We don't have any reason not to. Let's go for it. All right. God bless you. I hope you had a great time. I know I did. And we're going to sign off now. And hopefully we can continue to keep this party going. Love you guys. Love your attention. I really appreciate you. And don't forget, if you get a chance, sign up for the conference. Sign up for the conference. And I look forward to seeing you guys on October 1st. It's going to be amazing. All right. Bye-bye, guys. You have a great one.